Doo, 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 doo.
Hi, Annie.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm just waiting on your other participants.
Yeah, we're on a group. They're all waiting for approval, I guess.
Yeah, what is okay, Mercy is part of that group.
Yeah, there's Mercy, there's Barakat.
I don't see her. I don't see Baraka.
Who?
I don't see
Oh,
I saw Mercy, so she should be coming on. Um, hi. So, and I think
Good to see you too, Faith.
we're waiting on Angela.
okay.
I think that you might be missing one person, Emmanuel, because I didn't see him in any of our things. So if you could just be patient, let me go backstage and grab Angela.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
Okay.
sure.
Okay, so I'm assuming probably 10 more minutes because they might be in the networking. Did you guys have a chance to go do the networking?
Briefly, I was about to, and then I thought, what if you're approving on this side and I'm looking network with
Yeah,
someone? So I'm
same.
hoping after this I can network much better. But I've attended a session on the previous one, and it was quite insightful.
Yeah, yeah. I was glad that
Yeah.
people liked it. You know, so it makes it a lot. It makes you feel like you actually attended something.
Yeah, I tried to attend in the morning and I had a meeting at the same time. So it was like, okay, where do I go? Do I excuse myself? Because I really wanted to know how the sessions are running on the education bit. So it was nice to see someone who had a kid checking in.
Right.
It's more at home.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Let me text and let these guys know we're missing Angela.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's Baccarat. Hi.
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 How's everyone doing?
We're good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Fine.
Can everyone hear me clearly? I'm trying to like test my video and
We
sound.
could hear you clearly, but the way the camera only shows your from your eyes, like right at your eyes. You might have to, what is it? Either tilt it a little bit more so we can see more of your face.
Yeah. Like this?
Yes. Yeah, because now we can see
Yeah.
your, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
No.
Now we just see your collar. Yeah,
Is it
that's
better
better.
now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only person you guys are waiting for is Angela, and I'm just gonna assume that she is backstage. I told
Okay.
Mm,
I told the rest of the
okay.
team to tell her to come into the session so that you guys could, talk to each other for a little bit before everyone just comes on.
Yeah.
Right.
So, how do you guys have you guys had a chance to watch the rest of the session?
Yeah, so I caught the first session, the one on education, and some part of the session after that, the one on investing with David. Yeah.
So
Great
that's good.
panels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad
Yeah.
to hear that.
I haven't been able to catch my power hand off. So I'm hopeful this entire time.
Noise somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from, like in the background.
Yeah,
Sorry?
she said she was hearing noise in the background.
Mm.
So yeah,
Anyway, it's okay. We are home.
okay. So we're just waiting for her. Let me go to the backstage.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Hi, Baraka.
I have to go get some water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Finally. No.
Yeah.
No? No. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
I
yeah,
can hear you.
we can hear you. I'm
I
just
can
gonna
hear you.
hop
Okay.
off. I just wanted to make sure everyone was here, okay?
Sorry.
Angela, I
So,
cannot hear you.
Okay.
you can't hear me.
I can't hear you.
Me. Okay.
Can the others hear you?
Hello. Can you
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Loud and clear.
Hello.
Hello?
I can hear you. I can
I can
No.
hear everyone.
I can't hear Angela. Okay, let me leave and join back.
Right.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me though? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry?
You can hear
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Apologies for
Yeah.
coming onto this late. Did you get sent like the kind of questions I'm gonna ask?
No, we didn't get that.
No.
We kept asking,
Yeah.
so we
It's
thought, all
okay.
right,
You
we'll
guys
just
could jump right in because yeah, you guys could jump right in because you're live now and you're being recorded.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the digital marketing talk about building a community in the digital age. My name is Lush Angela. I'm the founder of Sister Speaks Global and also an initiative called Heals for Plants. I also have my own, like me, myself, I consider myself a brand. And so I'll be coming into this conversation, like chiming in, but I'll be moderating the ladies that are joining us, and I'll give you a chance to introduce. But I just want to say that, you know, even COVID-19 has changed for everyone and has changed how we work, has changed how things operate, and you know, it has meant that everyone has to be digitally competent, from your kiosk lady to a staff
Yeah.
to even anyone who's watching is consider themselves a brand. So even though you have just 10 followers or a million followers, everything that you do, you have to have the intent, knowing that what you're doing, someone's buying into it or like is interested in following it, what it is that you do, is interested in like maybe buying a service or a product. And so today I want to help navigate those conversations about digital trends, communication, any communication tips, and also like how would we advise people on what the things that can do to help elevate their business, regardless of the fact that we find ourselves during COVID. So before I go into like having that conversation with all of you, kindly Faith, introduce yourself, and then Mercy, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and to meet all of you, to learn and to share as well. I'm a digital marketing consultant, and what I do is I work with different industries, but lately it's been in the events industry, in the software industry, real estate, and kindergarten. So I have been there to just align their marketing strategies with the digital platforms that they can avail themselves to. And that's what I have been working on for the past, let's say, 2 years or so. Yeah, so that's me.
That's great. Mercy?
Oh. Yeah. Hi,
Hello.
everyone. My name is Mercy
Hello, Mercy.
Kinoda.
Hello,
I'm a
Mercy.
programs and
Can you
digital
hear Mercy?
marketing. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can't
Can you
hear
hear me?
Angela.
Barakat, can you hear?
No.
Barakat, can you hear all of us? Barakat? Can you hear all of us, Barakat? Okay, go ahead, Mercy, and introduce yourself. Go ahead, Mercy.
Yeah.
Just introduce yourself.
I was saying, yeah, okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm a programs and digital marketing consultant, and the people who I do a lot of consulting for right now are nonprofits and social enterprises. So that's my area of specialty. And I think with this era of COVID and everyone staying at home and isolation, the how I'm doing my consulting has really changed. But what I've been able to do and learn is I've been able to reach out more to different people in different parts of the world and like be able to help the nonprofits and social enterprises improve their impact. So I'm glad to be here to share what I know and to even learn from the rest
I
of
think
you.
we've lost Barakat, so I'll just go ahead and navigate the conversation. And when she jumps on, I will go ahead with it. If you have just before we continue, if you do have outside noise, when you're not talking, just click mute. And then when I ask you, then just unmute yourself so you can speak. So as we know, digital trends are like TikTok. I don't know if you spend time on those apps. We've also seen there's a lady, I Googled her, she's called Anifa Mubwemba. She's from Congo. And she did the first ever digital fashion show. I follow a page called Pot and Apron. And what they've been doing is they've been working with food bloggers. So I can buy a recipe, and when I buy this recipe, it comes with the exact amount of like what I need to make that recipe come alive. I have a friend who is really good at like making croissants and pastries, and it just started out with him just like posting on his Insta stories, and then he started getting orders, so he posts all the time. What I like, this is to you, Faith, because of the fact that you're a digital marketer. What are the kind of like trends would you say that are propping up? Ooh, I lost Faith. Maybe Mercy, you can help me. What are the trends? What are the trends that you've seen in the last couple of months during this COVID season that you feel anyone who's watching, either because they have a business or they see themselves as a brand, could benefit from?
Yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of businesses opening online communities with the use of their websites. So, having like a login where people can get to engage more about products. So, for example, Shopify.
I lost ya. Am I here still? Say that again. Say that again, because your internet dipped.
Like seen a restaurant that has the bar of having shipped cocktails.
Yeah.
So, is really trying to about continuing business, having people keeping people busy. I
love that. And yeah, like you have to, at this day and age, if you don't shift and shape how you're working, then you're just gonna die out. Barakat, can you now hear me? Can you now hear me?
Yes, clearly, I can hear you now. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please just introduce yourself and like who you are, what you do.
Oh, okay. I am Barakat. Currently, I work as a digital marketer for a fintech startup. And before that, I used to manage a community of entrepreneurs called Scale My Hustle. So what we did was organize events, trainings, shared content, learning around entrepreneurship, especially for I on customer acquisition, retention, storytelling, branding, and all that. So that's just a summary of what I do.
Okay, cool. So jumped in and out, what I'm doing is I'm going to navigate the conversation and bring about that are currently happening, and we can also, you know, input our own experience. But what I've also asked is that when you're not speaking, if you can just click mute on your screen, so that any background noise is not heard while this is recording. So I'm going to ask Faith, and then I'll ask you next. So Barakat, you can mute your screen. Hi Faith, welcome back. I lost you. So I'm going to ask you what was meant. What was it meant for you? I'll ask you now. So basically, I'd put like all these questions, and I wanted to know. Once we figure out the trends, right, and you know, you figured out which trend that you want to hop into, the next important thing is to figure out how to communicate that message, and not only to maybe the clients you're working, but also the people consuming your products. What are like? Can you think of like 3 communication tips that can you know, help you navigate and ensure, or help someone navigate and ensure that their brand still stays relevant, their business still stays relevant? What are some of the practices that you might be doing that are unique? I've lost you. I can't hear you, Faith. Can't hear you.
And now better?
Okay.
Sorry, I had muted. Yeah, so as I was saying, one of the things that we have adopted, especially with the remote work and having to have communication being done from all over, wherever we are, we have had to have a chance to catch up. You know what are you, like, how are you doing? How are you faring? What contributions do you want to make right now based on the status? You know, all of us are just working wherever it is that we are, and we are having to adapt to this situation and come up with solutions that are going to affect people right now, and being able to even make some form of revenue. So one of the ways is that reaching out to each employee, them contribute, where we are all brainstorming and knowing what is it that you can do, what is it that we can do, what is it that we have not been able to do and we can achieve right now. The other thing that we've been able to achieve is going back to our customers. So since there's not much happening at the moment, they have a lot of time to evaluate what used to work previously and what never used to work, because maybe their solutions we were providing for them and we thought they were serving their need at the time and they were not serving them efficiently. So we've been able to sort of go back to the drawing board and address those issues and sort of earn their trust back. And slowly by slowly, they're giving us a chance to try out new things with the challenges that are there currently, and they can slowly adapt and be part of the solution.
I love that. Are you using things like email marketing? So like subscription emails, you know, doing pop-ups on your website if you have access to a website? Are those kind of things that you would recommend as well?
Yes, on the angle of email marketing, I think a while back we used to do that it wasn't personal. It was more of just broadcasting and hoping someone is going to click and we're going to analyze and see, oh, people are actually responding. But right now it's very, very personal to a level like it's, hi, how are you doing? What do you think about this? We'd love to hear about this. So it's more conversational as opposed to, oh, it's just a pop-up. And we've been able to categorize our clientele based on their lifetime value. So there are those clients who've been with us for quite some time, so they're easy to relate with. And then there are those that are really, really fresh, they're really new, and they want to sort of know who are we and what exactly do you want to do with us, as opposed to it ending up in the spam mail. Yes, so we've done that. We've also adopted a lot of Twitter chats, where we sort of send out an alert, or within a week, we will have this conversation. It will be revolving around this. And we've seen a lot of response, especially in the afternoon. I don't know whether people are not so engaged in the afternoon, but we see people coming in, giving their contributions, and we are able now to tap into that. If there is any questions or any gaps that need to be addressed, that becomes more like the content that we'll be using coming the next Twitter chat or during the following week.
I love that. So I want to involve Barakat in this conversation. I hope I'm saying your name right. But one of the, like, taking forth the conversation with Faith. So we talked about trends, and now we're talking about communicating that message. But one of the most important things when you're communicating the message is figuring out which message works with your audience. So how do you use your insights? What methods for you have worked, and why do you think they work? Is it about timing? Is it what's in, or is it who you're targeting? Let us in.
Okay, so I hope you can hear me fine.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'll just go on. Okay, so knowing what to communicate to your audience per time. From studying your insights, you can easily see like the breakdown of who your audience is, and when you know your audience, you are able to segment them into like segments. So that's content. So for example, if you wanted to communicate, say you're talking to a group of entrepreneurs, for example, but by going through your insights, you find out that they are in several different locations. So if you were going to talk about something that was happening in like Africa, for example, you want that kind of message to get mixed up by going to like the wrong audience, say people States or so. So that's where audience segmentation comes in. So that way you're able to know, okay, this kind of message would fit in for this kind of people. If you wanted to be talking to women entrepreneurs, you would not want that message you would not want the main audience for that kind of message to be men, because the opportunities for women. So you would, want to focus the message on who the message is for. So yeah, audience segmentation definitely works. Uh, yeah. What was the other question?
What platforms? Well, I'll ask you. What other platforms do you think are working best currently, in terms of the fact that, where do you feel like, using your business and yourself as an example, what platforms are working better for you and the others you're struggling with, so you're concentrating more on where works?
Okay, so I have found out that email marketing really works. It does work. But for a while now, we have been struggling with like the open rates. So if you like, so we now found out that it was a technical error with the platform that we were using to send emails. So we are now having to migrate from one platform to another. So that's why studying your analytics is very, very important. So that way you know whether your message is actually reaching the audience that it is meant to reach. And if it is not reaching them, then you know that, you have to go back and re-strategize. Is it the medium we're using that is faulty? Is it the message we're passing across? Is it our language? Is it the tone? So that we are able to know what exactly is wrong, and how to do better. Social media really works. Talk about Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, but you really need to know your audience. This is the platform that works for this kind of audience. This platform works better for this kind of audience. And studying your insights and analytics as well, so that you quickly know if there's a problem and how to fix it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And this next conversation is with Mercy. And so we've talked about, like, it's important to study your analytics to figure out what works, to figure out if posts work better. So like, I'll use Sister Speaks as an example. Like, sometimes videos work perfectly, like IGTV videos, they work great. Sometimes emotive pictures on Heels for Pads platform, where we show the work that we're doing with the girls, work really well. And then sometimes, like with my particular platform, my videos work better than my pictures do, but my Insta stories work really well. So one of the things I think that I would like you all to like contribute towards is, when you're creating your content, I follow the 4 C's. The 4 C's being obviously communication, clarity, consistency, and candid. So what I mean is within my communication, I communicate consistently, but I'm also clear about what it is I want you to do when you're watching my video or looking at my post. And I'm also try to keep as honest as possible. What other strategies do you think that anyone who's watching should adopt in their posts? Is there too much, such a thing as too much posting, or like such a thing as less posting?
Mm-hmm. So I'd say in my experience, it all comes down to the purpose of your content. So for example, in my case scenario, I work with nonprofits and social enterprises more, and you're trying to have people understand the impact or the reason why you're doing what you're doing. It's more important to use stories, so testimonials of the people who I'm working with. So I don't think I've never felt like it's too much to say Monday to Friday to have one sort of content type, say an example of someone who's maybe gone through the nonprofit's impact or program. So
yeah,
I think it really comes down to what kind of product, what is your brand or company about? What do you do? So for example, I feel like there are a lot of makeup companies, if you keep on just shoving this lipstick, this foundation, it becomes very annoying, and you'd prefer to maybe see an influencer doing a smoky eye. So I think it really comes down to what are you doing? What's like your product? What do you want? Are you trying to drive sales? Are you trying to have people give feedback? Do you want, yeah, that's what I think. Then what was the other question?
So I'll go to this one in terms of content strategy. How far in advance the nonprofits and the social enterprises that you work, how far in advance are you planning? Are you going as far as saying, okay, July, this is the theme, and then are you going to say Monday, Tuesday, this is what we're doing? And do you go as far as saying not just feed focus, is there also Insta stories, like introducing lives, those kind of things?
Yeah.
Like how deep do you go?
Okay. So I think I'd really like to share about like what now we're doing with the pandemic. So last year, my social media calendar and like right now are completely different. So right now, the focus, as far as most of them has gone to, is fundraising. So all the efforts we'd put to end of the year, in the hope that people want to give back during the end of the year in December. Now we're doing it more aggressively right now. So every month we're having email marketing, asking for, people to feedback in and give them more campaigns towards COVID and how people are affected at the moment. So I think as soon as things started closing down in February, March, we had to get back down to revising and having a different idea of what we want to put out and the frequency and what type of posts. So now we're having more webinars. So in the nonprofit and social enterprise sector, a lot more people are having communities around different areas. So people who are dealing with girls, there are more communities online where different nonprofits. So for example, like Grow Through Learning, one of my clients, and let's say she's the first, are now engaging more about like, what are you guys doing to reach out to girls in terms of like sanitary towels, like what do they need? So now there are more webinars than I even thought could happen. I think even before this, I never imagined we'd be able to sit down as different nonprofits and engage. So webinars, I'd say IG stories, yes, definitely. There's an increase on like what I'm putting out there and what we're putting out as a team. And then email marketing, I think, just like as Barakat and Faith have mentioned, is what we're using more. And we're doing a lot more testing. How does this language work? How do these kind of call to actions work? So I think I'd say email marketing, webinars, and then IG stories for me are the top three. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one's to Faith, and I'm going to combine it with someone who's asked a question, Christine. So basically, as we all are based in Africa, we know one of the challenges Africa has is accepting e-commerce, like online shopping. You're both based in Kenya, so you'll see like supermarkets are now introducing, you can order your food through their website or through their app and it will be delivered to you. Before, let's not even go far, like about a year and a half ago, that would have been a dream. We're seeing Uber Eats, you're seeing, certain particular food apps becoming a thing in terms of ordering food more, even as far as, like, I know in the UK, there's no ability to order alcohol, but in Kenya there is. Barakat, you can let us know if in your area there is. So in terms of how we consume, or rather view e-commerce is changing. COVID is going to force us into embracing the change that technology is coming with. So first, in regards to e-commerce, like, are there any particular platforms you have seen that being used innovatively, and where do you think the future holds for us? Because you're in digital marketing, so you would probably maybe have a foresight of what's going to happen in terms of like the new trends that you're seeing in terms of how we shop online. And then I'll go into Christine's question for you. You need to unmute yourself.
I would say I'm an end user. I haven't been on the other side of, pushing products through the e-commerce platform. But yes, people have really, like, even the blog that I am in, people have really embraced the whole going online and shopping. I think we have to move our mindsets from authenticity. I think that the level of authenticity has to improve right now, because we have been caught up with, you make an order, there's what the image looks like, and then by the time it's arriving to your place, the quality is, and it's really one thing. And then the other thing is, okay, so what measures are we putting in place in the event that the customer's experience is wanting, and the reviews are what is going to affect how other people are going to purchase that particular product? So we have to also address the fact that, yeah, some items may be wanting, and maybe the people that are pushing these items on the platforms, let's say like Jumia, they need to come with or a policy of some sorts, such that if the event is, if the item is damaged or whatever it is that is being pushed is not meeting the standards that are needed by the end user, then there has to be repercussions for this particular person. And also our, maybe we would have to have a program where there's a reward system of some sorts. So if I have been able to push products and the reviews are really, really good, and then they have to be in another level, like I'm a higher rated person other than someone else who's just joining in, and maybe even have a way where you can have discounts. So if I am pushing my product more, then the pricing is also a bit adjustable, such that I am the person who is I'm the go-to person to purchase this particular product, as opposed to someone who's coming in and they have ridiculous priced products, and we're all selling the same thing. So there has to also be a standard where, okay, if you're coming in with the same product, this is the entry level of price point. And then there has to be measures of, if you don't meet this criteria, these are the repercussions. If you get this, these are the rewards. And slowly by slowly, people are going to have that trust with these platforms and be able to interact with them freely and even recommend them to others. Yes, that's what I
So someone asked you specifically, and all of us can pitch into this. So according to all our experiences, I'll put it, what is the most needed digital marketing services in the Kenyan market, and Barakat in your location as well? And then, like, I guess we can also talk about your views about digital project management. So maybe I can start it off. So I moved back to Kenya 4.5 years ago, and I think Uber moved around the same time I moved. So I've seen shifts in technology. I don't know anyone right now who just goes outside and gets a cab. So there's been shifts. There's been shifts in terms of people shopping in Instagram shops. So they've been slow shifts, but I've also worked a bit in behind the scenes with advertising and marketing. I feel I don't know about other African countries. I still feel like Kenya is still, and I you both, Mercy and Faith, and maybe Barakat as well, can attest to this. Like, it's really harder to sell the digital marketing platform because you can't really see it as more expensive because you can't quantify who it's going to reach, where it's going to reach, and someone else can take that video or picture and repost it in their platform. So the long life for it is longer than putting a poster in a billboard or in a commercial. So I've definitely seen, and I would say to Christine and anyone watching, I feel like COVID is going to change how people view, because we're not leaving our houses, right? So I'm not going to see any poster that's outside. Everything I am seeing or that's being sold to me is through my computer, perhaps my TV screen is really important. And for those who don't have access, it would be a radio. So I would, maybe I can ask you, Mercy and Barakat, and then come to you, Faith. Like, what's your view on, in terms of digital marketing, and how can we help shift? Or is COVID a blessing rather than a curse?
Yeah, actually, I know it sounds wrong, but it is a blessing, because like I feel there's so many more clients who I had reached out to last year who didn't think my proposals made sense, but now they're like, blowing me up and really want to get a quote. So I think COVID honestly has opened up more opportunities for us than before. But there's also, like you're saying, it's very difficult if you have a client who's used to old advertising, to explain to them how digital works and return on investment, and how it's more like a waiting game. As much as you have insights, by the time you have a customer being able to buy something from you online, you have to build trust and credibility. So yeah, I think as far as opportunities right now, there are very many opportunities. I couldn't per se say one specific scope of digital marketing that has more, but probably maybe websites. Now there are a lot of people who didn't have websites before who are doing, so website development is pretty big right now. Yeah, and then I guess search engine optimization and social media marketing would be the three I could say, but I think there are very many scopes in digital marketing that are very needed right now. Yeah.
Okay, Barakat?
Okay, so to answer Christine's question, I would say that the pandemic has definitely provided an opportunity for, in my own perspective, for small businesses to, move from their brick and mortar store and now selling online. So I am going to give an example of what is specific to my own country. So we've seen the establishment of, we're now seeing the establishment of e-commerce platforms, apart from the very popular ones, those are Jumia and Konga. So we're now seeing I don't know if I can mention names, but there are two major payment processing platforms who have now moved to creating e-commerce platforms for their customers, because before maybe before their customers were only selling online or doing brick and mortar stores, but because of the pandemic, nobody can go out, so they're now creating virtual stores for their customers. So that there's definitely a shift in the way people shop. So yeah, there's that. I would also say in the education sector as well, we've seen a lot of webinars. In fact, I for one, I don't know if I can take another webinar. I have attended so many. So there's that shift from the four walls of the classroom to now online. Like, things that people did not think they could learn online, they are now learning it online. Like, so yeah, there's also that. Yeah. So those two majorly. I would also say I have seen an increase in podcasts. Uh, so I don't know if that is
Yeah.
because did you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I did. I'm
Okay,
agreeing with
okay,
you.
okay,
I'm
okay, okay.
agreeing with
So
you.
okay. So I am seeing an increase in podcasts. So these days people are almost always home. So there's a need to, continuously motivate yourself, continuously inspire yourself, continuously learn, continuously share experiences as well. Another thing I am seeing more of is that more people are becoming, content creators. So people are now like being comfortable sharing regular bits of their life online. So we're seeing more TikTok videos going viral, people sharing cooking videos online, things that people would normally not do. Usually they're now becoming commonplace because of the pandemic. So yeah.
Okay. So everyone, and you can start Barakat and then Faith. So someone's asked, like, how are you, like, seeing as you were speaking, how are you connecting to those that don't have digital access? How are you reaching to them? Do you have people like them? How are you connecting with them? Do you like call them or message text them, or do you predominantly deal with those that have access to digital?
Okay. So I would say that my job is majorly online, but one offline channel that we've been making use of is text messages. So reaching our customers via text, text messages, just so they know that, oh, we're with you. If you cannot come online, just know that we still have you in mind. So we're using text messages. Yeah.
Okay. So now we have 5 minutes. So I want everyone, I'll start with you, Faith. So we'll do Faith, Mercy, and then Barakat, and then I'll end. Like give either share like a website or any particular tip or a last part or like a last parting shot that you'd like to share for anyone watching, or anything that you think would be useful for someone to go do their own research. Faith, to begin. You need to unmute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what we have come to learn, as Mercy was highlighting about the websites, one is you can actually do these things by yourself if you have the time. And there are certain tools that are available for you to do that. We have Squarescape, we have Wix, they keep on coming up. So you can easily make one for yourself, and even Google, you can just create something simple for you to have that online presence. And then one of the main things that people are overlooking is being personable. Like who are you? Like, can we see your face? Who are you working with? Can we connect with you as a person, as opposed to, I'm going to a site and this is what I'm buying and I don't even know who I'm interacting with. So bring that out very clearly. Then it's quite a learning journey. I know some people come in with digital marketing. Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna get results. It could take some time. It could take between 2 months to 6 months building up, and people should not give up, because sometimes we have ads that run and you already have people coming on board, and it's quite a learning process. So as people are coming on board and saying, hey, we would like this, be ready to plan also. Don't just jump into it. Yeah, be ready to plan, be ready to be patient, have that personality in place, and you can already start the journey by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mercy, you have like 45 seconds.
Okay. Google Facebook for business and Instagram for business. It has everything, blogs, videos, everything. Like the way she's saying, you can learn these things for yourself, especially for small businesses. So Facebook for business, Instagram for business. Yeah.
Right. And Barakat? Last
Okay,
word.
like Mercy said, you can learn anything online, especially now that everybody's at home. Also, I would also to, be responsible with the way that they share information and the kinds of information that they share online, because we know that fine, almost everyone is online now, but there's also a lot of misinformation that is, now getting very rampant. So be careful and responsible with the way that you share information, share helpful content, you know, just make the best of your digital usage generally.
Okay. Thank you. So before I say my last words, I'll address Louise's question about, she's asking about how networking has become so much more difficult. And she wanted to know, is it an acceptable behavior to like take a screenshot of another organization's pitch, competition, and promote mine? So the issue with doing that, like if you're gonna take a screenshot, is be prepared. Like it could affect you in terms of law wise. So how about you see what they're doing and you learn what it is that they're doing and see how you can make yours unique. There's nothing new that's going on in the social media world. There'll be nothing new anyone's going to invent, but there can be something unique you can add to what it is that you're doing. And so what I would say is there's two things I would want everyone to take a part on is online learning. So I just did the 10,000 women for Gold Sachs. So like in Coursera and in Udemy, there's online courses, and they can be one specifically towards whatever challenges that you may be going through. It could be about sales and marketing. It could be about content strategy. So find platforms like those. There's also a really great website called mashable.com, which shows you the new trends that are happening in the West, and they're bound to happen here. So if you can get ahead of your game, that will definitely like improve and help you. And as I will echo what everyone is saying, be responsible. Do not spread propaganda, because people will come at you. Everyone has got so much time in their hands, and they will research you, and they will trash you, and they will take you down. So you've got to be really, really careful with what it is that you're putting out, and be as truthful. And that is why I want to say focus on your 4 C's. Communicate, consistency, be candid, and be clear. If you're not being candid, they will catch you. So always be unique. And the unique thing is that we're all authentic. I don't look like Barakat. Mercy doesn't look like Faith. We all have different things. So thank you for everyone who watched. And thank you, ladies, for all the knowledge that you've shared.
Thank you,
And
Angela.
maybe I think on your chat, you can put how people can connect with you if they wanted to. And yeah, thank you. I think that's it. I will end the conversation. I think we stopped recording. But thank you for your time, and thank you for all of what. Thank you for the privilege of listening to us.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.
Bye.